invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of our children can breathe clean air and drink clean water.
So let me get this right. You want to provide clean air and clean drinking water for a population that won't exist. Does that make sense? If you are planning to reduce the population, you're planning to reduce what already exists. You didn't say pre-measures to reduce population, which means future measures. And that's even bizarre, because then you will be infringing upon the rights that people have and their freedoms, and you'll become a dictatorship, even in that aspect. But for the sake of what you said, to reduce the population is to subtract or cut off or kill away from what already exists. And this is why it's so important. And if y'all heard correctly, you hear the people in the background just clapping away. They don't even understand what she said. They didn't even hear it. They're mesmerized by what she's presenting to be, and their love for her, that they didn't even hear what came out of her heart. See, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. You can know a lot about people by what comes out of their mouth, because it's coming out of the fullness or out of the overflow or out of the build up of what's in the heart. And so what she just said is that she wants to kill off the population. And there's something called the Georgia Tablet Stones that were established in the 1980s, right? I think it's like 1980 maybe. But in the 1980s, and was destroyed in the year 2022, so about 2 years ago. And the reason why they destroyed them is because they started to catch fire. And I knew about this for many years, but they started to catch fire. People started to read what was on those tablets, what was on those Georgia guide stones, is what they called them, Georgia guide stones. Look it up. And what was on those Georgia guide stones was basically a summary of 6 things that they want the entire world to adopt. And those 6 things, one of them was reduce and control the population. And so when you see all of those movies like Minority Report or Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone, where they are were having children, is you have to get approval, right? Or it has to be grown in a lab or something of that nature. They're telling you what they have on the roster, right? They're telling you what they have on and coming into existence. And when you see that, then you look at what a person like Kamala Harris is saying. Oh, reduce the population. You know that stuff is an agenda. It's real. And so one of those things was reduce and control the population. The other one's called environment, spirituality, language, where all the world speaks one language. That sounds like the Tower of Babel to me, where the entire world spoke one language. And Satan was the head of that. And what he was doing was making everybody build a gigantic tower to reach heaven so they can kick God off the throne, which has always been Satan's desire and the devil's hunger to do something of that nature. And it's bizarre to even think that this is in our reality, in a free nation, a free state, that something of that caliber could come out of a person who's running for president's mouth. If you look at what this is saying here, it's absolutely bananas. And I'm saying we need to be careful of who we're electing. We need to really pay attention and really hear what these people are saying, and not just go off of what you feel, right? Because the heart is desperately wicked. Who can know it, right? It's desperately running into wickedness. So it's not going to tell you true. You're just being led by emotions to choose certain things. But you have to be conscious. You have to be coherent. You have to be watchful and aware of what it is that you're voting for, what it is that you're tuning into, and make a sound, dignified decision that so you're not going along with the masses or what's been propagated. And furthermore, we're a spiritual world. Jesus Christ is real. And because Jesus Christ is real, the devil is also real. And because the devil is real, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. So Kamala Harris is not the enemy. She's not our enemy. Lucifer is our enemy. The devil, these demonic spirits, are our enemy. And we have to be careful of what we are agreeing to. Because that's the easiest way for the devil to take rulership, is for you to have a covenant with what you don't understand. For you to take covenant with something that comes out of the gates of hell, but dressed up like a cherry cheesecake. You understand what I'm saying? So, y'all, we got to pray. We got to pray for our nation. We have to pray for our people. We have to pray for who's being elected. So be careful of who you're electing. For one, I'm not in agreement with what's being said out of the person's mouth that's running right now. I'm not in agreement with that. That's mass genocide. And furthermore, I'm a free man. You should never have or exert control over a person unless you're a communist, right? And going for a dictatorship. And from what I understand, Kamala Harris is part of the communism party or the Communist Party. Nothing I'm saying is not factual. All truth, all facts. Look it up. You'll see that she's been a part of this whole Communist Party and all these different things way back when, from way back when. And to me, it sounds like it's been just put in motion, put in place to make happen. But that's all I got for this video, y'all. I'm trying something new called Straighte. And it's a Christian review channel where we take God's perspective on politics. We take God's perspective on the things that are happening in the world today. So like, share, subscribe to the channel. I love you guys. I'm going to see you in the next one.